So I'm gonna be comfortable tonight. Y'all, welcome to the channel, Chillinwithlanda. If this y'all first time here, then thank you, honey, for clicking on my video. Do not be a silent watcher. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like it. Y'all, leave a comment down below. And in the comment section, y'all hype your girl up. It's a new feature. Just hit the hype button. That's gonna help your girl channel grow and reach more of y'all beautiful souls. And y'all get the point. But if you're already a part of the crew, y'all know what time it is. It's time for another story time. And we're going to talk a little bit about some people, talk a little bit about some things. You know what I'm saying? You're going to love it here. And y'all, it took me a while to think if I really wanted to tell this story time, because I know how the girls and the guys can get when you talk about your significant other and stuff like that. But let me tell you now, this is not about my current relationship. This is somebody that's been in my past years ago. And it took a long time for me to think about if I want to tell this story time or not. But you know what? I'm sure a lot of y'all can relate. A lot of y'all have been through it. I'm not alone. And yeah, I just want to tell the story time. And just a little disclaimer, y'all stay with me. We're going to get into the story. Y'all stay with me for now, though. I'm going to talk about some things that, for the regular YouTube, I have to censor out, and I'm going to keep out a lot of details on that part. But I tell you what, I have a membership, and I don't have any videos on it now, but when I do, it's going to say 18 plus on it, just a little, to let y'all know that your girl going to talk dirty to y'all. I'm gonna talk dirty to y'all on that channel. You feel me? All of the stuff I can't say on this channel will be on that video in the membership. And when I record that, I will make a post and let y'all know. But y'all, enough rambling. Let's get into it. So, like I said, I'm gonna be talking about a past relationship, y'all. Your girl was, okay, it was a past relationship many, many years ago. And for the sake of the video, we're going to call him Chris because he started off lying. Yeah, so when I was 17, about to turn 18. Y'all know my birthday is in December. It was like November-ish, October-ish, right? I don't know if y'all remember the old website called Moco Space, right? On Moco Space when I was in, graduating high school or whatever, on there venturing, looking for dates and just talking to people. You know how you used to do on them websites or whatever. So I was on there and, somebody hit me up and he was cute or whatever. And he told me his name was Chris and, he was, I was 17. So let me do the math. Let me do the math so I can give y'all accurate information, right? So I was 17 going on 18. Okay, so he told me that he was 20, right? So I was 17 going on 18, and I told him, well, he told me he was 20. So cool. I was like, but it's October, but my birthday December 17, I'll be 18 or whatever. I was truthful in this situation. We continued talking on the app for a little bit. Because I had a cell phone or whatever, but my dad was real strict even when I was a 12th grader in high school. I had a curfew, y'all. Like, he used to make me turn the TV off 8-11. Like, he was real strict with me, right? So I had a cell phone, but we just used to talk on the app during the day when I had my cell phone. So like after hours, we wasn't really talking or whatever. So my point saying that is my dad was real strict, so we just would talk on the app, just text on the app, not really talking on the phone or whatever. So y'all, we did that for a little bit. We chatted on the little Moco Space or whatever. And then now I turned 18. It's December. I turned 18. We're still talking. We just talking or whatever. He know that my dad is strict or whatever. So now, December, January, February. So now I'm graduated high school. I'm 18. I'm graduated high school. And, it's the summer. You're not really doing much during the summer. And he didn't have a car at the moment. I didn't have a car. I was fresh out of high school, but we had to train. So my very, very, very first time going, meeting him in person really was like almost 7 months after I met him online. And we made a plan to meet each other at the train station, and he took me all the way down south to his house. He stayed with his mom, y'all. Now, Chris, he wasn't that tall. I'm gonna just give y'all a description. I'm like 5'7". He's probably like 5'8". Chocolate guy, low cut, very deep voice, very manly. He worked. He had a trade like doing electrician. He just had a good head on his shoulders. Chris was a good guy, but we went down south to his mom's house. That was my first time actually seeing him in person, y'all, after talking to him online for so long. So I'm down south with his mom. We're in the living room, and this is not going to be a story time on her because I did tell a story time on her ex-mom-in-law. Y'all can go check that out. I will try to keep note of all of this I'm saying in this video to keep it linked in the description box below. So we're at her house, and she calls him a name. Now, I can't say the name because that will give out his real name. So she's in the kitchen. She's calling his real name. She's like, let's just say T. So she's like, T, T. And I'm sitting on the couch. I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, who the heck is T? So she's just calling him. She's like, T. And he answers. He goes in the kitchen. So he comes back out. And I'm like, Chris, who is T? So he was like, oh, man, T, my real name or whatever. Excuse me? So I've been talking to this dude for like 7-8 months online and sometime on the phone. And his real name was T. So off rip, he lied to me, y'all. He lied to me. So his name wasn't Chris. His name was T, but I had got used to calling him Chris. So, I kept calling him Chris for a while, but eventually I started calling him by his real name, right? So this same day, we up in his room, and I'm just, I'm a shy girl, whatever. I'm barely on this bed or whatever. But he take off his work pants and his wallet is on the bed, right? He goes to the bathroom, and your girl just, I'm nosy. I'm very shy in person, but once he walked out that room, I was very Inspector Gadget. So while he's in the bathroom taking a shower or whatever, I'm looking through his wallet, y'all. And on top of him lying to me, telling me his name was Chris and his name was really T, he lied about his age, y'all. So like I said, I was 17 when we first started talking on the internet. He was 22. I know he's 5 years older than me. You know what I'm saying? So he was 22. So I was just doing the math. I was like, I know I'm not very sharp at math. Like I'm not that good in math. I could read the hell out of something. I'm good in history, but don't give me no math. I know I'm not that good in math, but I know if 1 + 1 = 2, 4 + 4 ain't. The math not mathing. He told me he was 20 years old. He had to be, oh Lord. So you know what I'm saying? So usually us young women, let's just be honest. Us young women usually be the one adding a few years to our age to talk to older men. It wasn't the case with us. He was the one lied to me. He was older, a couple years older than what he told me. So I was just like, dang, I'm only 18, you know what I'm saying? 23, now you 23 years old. Like, dang, I wasn't ready for that. But at this point, I told y'all we had been talking for like 7-8 months. I was really liking Chris, y'all. And at that point, it really is what it was. Now, at this point, it is what it was. And, I ain't gonna cap to y'all. My first time physically seeing him, the attraction between us was very strong. Let's just say he moved the dresser in front of the room. I remember him climbing on top of the dresser, closing the vent to the AC because it was blasting cold. He locked the door. And let's just say we got it on. We knocked boots for like a very long time, right? So we just gonna move on from there because that's gonna be talked about on the membership because, I can't talk dirty to y'all on this channel, like on this public video. So, we just dating. I'm falling in love with Chris. It is what it is. His real name T. He lied to me, but it is what it is. I'm young. I'm falling in love. I was supposed to start college. I started my classes. Summer was over. I started my classes. Now, if y'all familiar with my channel, I have talked about Pop in my childhood. I was a rebellious teenager at some point because I was lost. I was looking for love in all the wrong places. I thought I was grown. All of these things I know now, but when I was younger, girl, me and my Pop used to go at it. And I was just really in a bad spot with my dad. I just was young, graduated high school, just wasn't sure what I wanted to do with myself, what I wanted to do with my life. didn't really like, I knew I was pretty, but I really didn't like care about myself. I really didn't, I just was lost, y'all. So I had Chris though. So to make a long story short, me and my dad got into it real bad. And I left the house. I packed all my stuff, and that was the first time Chris really was like, I was crying, and me and my dad was arguing, and he looked at me. He was like, babe, don't cry, don't cry. I was like, and that made me fall in love with him even more. I was like, dang, Chris really a real good guy. He was doing all the right stuff. He was just there when I was falling. You know what I'm saying? And again, I could probably link that video down below about the ex-mama-in-law story. He packed all my stuff from my dad's house, and we went down south and stayed with his mom for like, it only lasted like 2 weeks, y'all. But we went down there to his mom's house, and I was adamant. I was like, I don't really want to go there. I don't really know your mom like that. I'm always been a woman. Like, I have a dad. Me and him could work it out. But we end up moving down south with his mom, y'all. This is where I would say I noticed that he was like a little hypersexual, y'all. Meaning like sometimes we would be watching movies, and simple little kissing scenes on a movie or simple little sex scenes on a movie, he would get aroused. I just noticed that he was a very hypersexual person. But to me, it was like, we were young, and Chris was, it just, maybe he was attracted to me. He just always wanted to do it all the time. And I was young too, and I really enjoyed it, and we doing all the crazy stuff, and having fun, and I was really enjoying it too. But I did notice that it was a little excessive at the moment. So now we just gonna fast forward from like living room down there from 2 weeks, and now we staying with his sister. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I take accountability. I just didn't know what I was doing in life. I was young, I was in love, y'all, and I was just been following his hand, going any and every which way. So now we at his sister house, y'all. So at his sister house, it was the same exact thing. It was really, Chris was really, it was really no signs with Chris at this point, besides him being like hypersexual. Again, all of this stuff, the details is for the membership, but I can give y'all a little examples here right now. Like for example, like once, like I can't do that. But I can though. So let me talk about it. So like we'll do it. We've been doing it. Like my legs been in the air for like 2 hours. We be doing it like rabbits, y'all. And one time I just heard it was just quiet, right? So I'm like, where is Chris? Where is Chris? So I go around the apartment looking for Chris. And his sister bathroom, it was broke, y'all. Like meaning you couldn't, when you closed the door, it didn't like shut, it didn't latch, it didn't, the lock was broke. So sometime if you didn't put like a sock between the door, I know ghetto, if you didn't put a sock between the door, it wouldn't close. So I was like, where is Chris? I went looking around the apartment for Chris. I was like, maybe he in the bathroom because I seen the door was cracked. So I crept up to the door, y'all. Now, I just said my legs had been in the air for like 2 hours, y'all. I'm talking like rabbits, right? I'm talking about sore. Hips is sore. Uterus is toe up. Pelvic is toe up. 2 hours. So I creep up to the bathroom door, and it was cracked. And I'm looking through the crack, y'all. This Chris he got one hand on the wall, y'all. His head was tilted down. And he was choking that chicken. We had done been doing it for 2 hours. Excuse me. So that was just like the little signs. And like I said, 18 and older on the membership, take your butt over there when I post the video, okay? Like, those were just the signs of him just being hypersexual. His sister had like a huge screen, like a big 50-inch TV inside the living room, and we had the PlayStation attached to it. Sometimes we would be in the room, I'm talking about 2 hours, like rabbits, pelvic, toe up. And one time I caught him, I was creeping up on him. I just had a habit of creeping up on him. And he got the PS4. Tried to hook the internet up to the PS4. And all I see was his butt and titties all in the air. He on X. Can I say that? He on X video after we done been doing it for 2 hours. So it was just like, now he's a good guy. He works. He pays bills. Make me feel like I'm the only girl in the world. He did. But I'm noticing that he was very, very hypersexual. And it was getting very like disturbing a little bit. All right, I had to cut. Somebody was at my door, right? So, because I'm trying to put all of this in order. It's been so long ago, y'all. So, it wasn't until I was telling a story time to y'all when I reflected on something and I realized something years at my grown age, years later. I was telling y'all a story time about something, maybe about him, and it dawned on me when we were staying with his sister. So like we were together all the time. I was anxious without him. I had separation anxiety. I felt like I couldn't live without him. Y'all ever felt like that about a man or woman? I'm not alone. So I felt that way, y'all. I was really attached to him. And one night, now mind you, I told y'all he was an electrician. He worked at a place that closed at like 6, 7 p.m. And he would get home around 7, 8 o'clock every night, right? And I would be waiting on him. I would be waiting to hear his car pull up. You know, when I heard that car door closed in the front, I just knew that was my man, right? So I was just excited. I'm like, let me go take a shower. Because at this point, y'all should know that he's sexual. So I just knew that I'm finna go take a shower because we finna get it on, because that was a normal routine. So I got fresh, girl. I took a shower. It's like 8 o'clock. I'm like, okay, maybe he stopped and got food or whatever. It's like 8:30. Okay, I'm calling his phone. No answer. No answer. So it's like, reaching 9 o'clock. Me and his sister was real close. So we just chilling. We sitting on the porch. Maybe he gonna pull up. We just chilling. We talking, y'all. We talking. Before I know it, 12 a.m. had done rolled around. Excuse me. 1 a.m. had done rolled around. Excuse me. 2 a.m. had done rolled around. Excuse me. 4, 5, 6 a.m. had done rolled around. Excuse me. I got so tired, I ended up falling asleep. I just went to sleep. The next morning, he still wasn't there. So it wasn't until like 11, 12 in the afternoon, I hear the door unlock. He comes in the house. I go running to him. I'm all excited. I'm kissing him, hugging him. He didn't tell me nothing. He goes straight to his sister's room and they talking about it. So he told me he was at the gas station and the police performed the sting and they arrested everybody at the gas station. So in my young age, I'm like, oh, what's a sting? He like, that's when the police set you up and they just arrest you or whatever. So my little dumb self, I was like, okay. You was at the gas station and the popo just arrested everybody. Okay. But it wasn't until I was telling y'all the story time, it dawned on me. And I was like, I know what a sting operation is. That's when you're doing something like at a trap house or you're prostituting and the police set up a perimeter to set up Johns and drug dealers, right? Right? So I was thinking on the story time talking to y'all, I was like, it's no way you could have just pulled up to the gas station and was going to go to get a drink or put in gas and the police arrest you, sir. You had to be at the gas station, probably being a John, probably looking for the tricks, probably trying to get a toot with a hoot. You feel me? So it dawned on me when I was talking to y'all, I was like, I was too young to even understand, to even grasp what a sting operation was. There's no way you was at a gas station getting gas and they arrested you. No way, sir. You had to be at the gas station. Knowing what I know, probably prostituting. And my young brain just could not process it, y'all. It just blew my mind when I actually thought about it. And it just was like, wow. So now we moved from his sister's house. Now we in a project, y'all. Them raggedy projects I'm always talking about that done traumatized me. Yeah. Y'all should know. Check out the story times about those projects, y'all. I have videos and pictures of it. And we stayed there because the rent was dirt cheap. The lease was literally 1 page long. They did not care. So it was an easy access. I needed somewhere to stay. So we went there and we had an apartment there. And like I told y'all, Chris was a good, like he was a good man at the time. He was like a manly man. He worked very hard. He always had a job. He kept a job, He paid the majority of the rent because I was working at Macy's, Toys R Us, little paying jobs. I didn't have much money. So he would pay the majority of the bills. I really had a soft life with him, but that's when the issues really started coming to a head. Like you know, us staying together. Like, first of all, I was too young to be staying with a Negro in the first place, first of all. And second of all, it's like, yeah, he was a good man, but it just was too much sex involved all day, every day. um it was just, you know, we started arguing more, and he just could not communicate. He was very quiet. When I would get angry about certain things, he just would not respond. He would not like talk about it. Pretty much it was just, I would live with all of it in my head. Everything started coming to a head, you know. We would get along very well when we stayed with his mom, when we stayed with his sister, when we just was, you know. But when we started staying together, that's when the issues really came to shore, y'all. So here we go. I'm gonna try to give as many details as I can what I remember, right? So, like I said, we got along very well. Things started changing a little bit. Like, he started getting very quiet, very distant. You know, we had been together for like 3 years at this point, maybe pushing 4 years. You know, my whole family knew who he was. He had done seen my dad, my mom. My mom stayed with us for like 4 months. You know, um, everybody in my life just knew who Chris was. We were together. We had been together for a very long time at this point, you know. And things just started getting weird. And, you know, people would even ask me, like, you know, like my friend Red. Y'all know my friend Red. She would ask me sometimes. She would be like, "You think Chris cheat on you?" I don't know why she would ask me that, but because I was so trusting, y'all, I was just so like in love. I was blind. The trust was not broke yet with me. Like, y'all, like I truly trust him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have any reason to think he was cheating on me, or doing anything malicious behind my back. I had no reason to feel any way. You know what I mean? People, you know, and then like guys from the past that I knew, they would want to date me, and they would be like, you know, you've been with this dude for a long time, you know, you don't think he cheated on you? People would ask me that occasionally, and I just couldn't understand why. You know what I'm saying? So now, you know, we've been together, staying in this apartment for like a year at this point. Everything is okay, but not really okay. And I'm going to try to mark this down as well to link the video down below. So we started not getting along like at all. I do not even remember what this argument was about this day. I don't remember anything about this day. I just remember Pum Pum was involved, y'all. And shit, let me just say that shit. Say that shit. Let me just tell my truth. I'm telling the story time. I'm gonna tell my truth, right? So it was a Pum Pum about. We you know, even now I have a Pum Pum. I do have a Pum Pum. I always had Pum Pums. You know, I have my bat by the door. I have to bat a bitch up. You know what I'm saying? I be on deck all the time. I've always been that way. And I don't even remember what the argument was about this day, y'all. I'm gonna link this video down below. I'm gonna make it real short. I told him if he come back to my house, I was gonna pimp him, right? I'm just saying, this was years ago, right? I was just talking shit. I was just talking mess, y'all. I was sitting down on the bed. I was rolling me a blunt, y'all. And I just hear popos from every which way. I hear the popo from this way. I hear the popo from that way. I hear the helicopters. I hear it all. And something just in my spirit was like, girl, they coming for you. So I was like, oh, hell no. I know this nigga didn't call the police on me. So I took my blunt, y'all, and I rolled it up and I put it in the hamper, right? So I started looking out the window. Y'all, I put my blinds to the side and I see the goddamn snipers, bitch. I see the snipers. They on top of the cars with the gun. And I'm just, it's years ago. It's years ago. So I'm like, oh my God. So the first thing I do is call Chris. I called Chris on the phone. I was like, what did you do? He was like, what you talking about? I say, nickel, these popos all outside my house with the sniper guns and everything. He was like, oh my God, I had no idea they was gonna respond like that. Like, I was like, what did you tell them? He was just like, you know, I just told you you had to go. That's why they responded like that, y'all. They responded like I was a goddamn, I done shot up a goddamn school. They responded to me like none other. It was ridiculous, the response that they gave me from that call. But Chris was on the other line. He was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know they was going to do all of this. I'm sorry. I had no choice, y'all. So what I did was I took the Pum Pum, I unloaded it, put it by the door, let them in. They handcuffed me, y'all. They took me to the police station for 1 hour and let me go home, right? So that was like the start of like it's like I was in love with Chris, but that did it for me. You know what I'm saying? And I know I just told a story time about me trying to push my nipple. Me trying It's a couple of y'all women still on his head about that. And we be laughing at y'all comments because it was my fault. Listen, I be telling my truth, y'all. I know that I just recently got locked up for trying to push my nigga, right? You feel me? But this was different. This was different. Like, I truly did not deserve that. You know what I'm saying? It was a effed up situation, and that it's like I was in love with him, but when he did that, it's like a little piece of my love with a lot of piece of my love. It chipped off. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know how you can be in love one moment and then somebody can do something so deep to you, it's just like switch off. So it's like a chip of my love had truly fell off for him. You know what I'm saying? So I go home that day, you know, that Passover, we trying to get our life back together. He's kissing my feet, kissing the ground I walk on, trying to do everything to make up. You know, Chris is just on hands and knees, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much trying to propose to your girl. He was trying to make up in every which way. And like I told y'all, a piece of my love had chipped off of him, but not all of my love had chipped off of him. So of course I took him back. And so, you know, and taking him back, you know, everything was good, but it wasn't 100% good. Like I still trusted him. Like I didn't have to worry. I wasn't worrying about another woman. I trusted him on that level. You know what I'm saying? So now we're gonna get to like the nitty gritty of everything, right, y'all? We're gonna get to it. So I want y'all to keep in mind that he is hyper sexual. You get what I'm saying? He is hyper sexual. I'm talking about to the point where I had no rest. I'm talking about day and night. Even in my sleep. In my sleep, he would hump me. He would hump me and to let me know, get your ass up and put them legs in the air. It was nonstop. It was just nonstop. I want y'all to understand. I want y'all to understand. It was nonstop. It was all the time with him. I really want to reiterate this. I'm going to get into details on the membership. Me and my blood. It was nonstop. Listen, sister, when I tell you it was nonstop, girl, it was nonstop. Like that freaky stuff, it be fun on paper. It be fun on paper, but when you stuck with a jackrabbit girl, it was nonstop. You feel me? I want y'all to understand me. It was nonstop, right? So, okay, so stop playing, girl. All right, so we had went to a party, right? We had a family gathering, right? And he wasn't a drinker. Chris was not a drinker. Only thing he did was smoke the trees or whatever, but he was not a drinker. Not even with beers, wine. He could not handle it. But we went to a family gathering and he got towed up from the floor up, make it throw up, right? He passed out, right? So I had done left and went with Red somewhere, came back. And when I came back in the house, he was passed out on the couch. I went in the bathroom and I came back out to come in the living room, and guess what I seen? Right in the middle of the floor, sister or brother. Guess what I seen in the middle of the floor? His phone. It was just sitting there, dead. So, mind y'all, before any of this happened, I've never been through his phone. I never had the urge to. I never had the urge to do anything sneaky. I told y'all I had trusted him 100%, right? So I told y'all like everything was like feeling a little weird. We had got into it. The police took me, girl. We were arguing, fighting. I had to tore him up with a hairbrush one day. We were going at it. So the phone was just sitting in the middle of the floor. It was just staring at me. It was just dead. I never had a urge to go through his phone. Now, mind you, these signs I never even realized until years after we broke up. You know, another sign was his phone always was on silent. I never even noticed that. His phone was always on silent, not even vibrate. I never heard his phone ring ever. And another thing, I never seen him without his phone. I never seen him without his phone. Meaning, if he went to the bathroom, he had his phone. If he was in the shower, it probably was in the shower. I never seen him without his phone. I never had the urge to go to his phone, y'all. But this night, it was just sitting on the floor dead. It was sitting on the floor dead. And I was like, nah, I ain't gonna go through his phone. I never had the urge to go through his phone, but he was being more mean to me. We had been arguing. He was calling me names. You know what I'm saying? He was just getting more mean to me. So I was like, nah. My heart started pounding. Y'all know, y'all girls, y'all following me, or men, y'all went through y'all white phone before. I got that pounding, that anxiety. So he was drunk. He was on the couch, sleep so hard, y'all. So hard. I had to make noise. I was like, Chris, Chris, just to make sure he was asleep. He was asleep. So I took the phone, I put it on the charger, and I prepared myself. Because when you go looking for stuff, you find it. Let's be honest, y'all. When you go seeking, you shall find. And I knew that. So I plugged his phone up and I let it charge a little bit. And in the meantime, I wrote me a blunt because I was preparing myself for the worst, y'all. I was preparing myself because when you go looking, you shall find. So I had sat on the couch next to him while he was asleep, y'all. I had done lit my blunt and the phone turned on. So the phone turned on, and the first thing I went to was the call. I don't know why I went to the call log. Didn't care. Then I went to the messages. The first message said somebody named Tina. So I clicked on the message, and the message was saying, baby, and sunshine, and I want to hunch, and I want to do all of this, and pretty much was having an affair, right? So I'm reading a little bit of the messages, y'all. I only got a good 2 scrolls up because I felt like I was having a heart attack. So I had shook him. I'm like, Chris, wake the fuck up. Wake up. I woke him up. He wake up, huh? Y'all know how dudes do, huh? So I'm like, who is Tina? He's like, huh? I'm like, who is Tina? He was like, huh? I'm sorry, that dumbass look. So I'm like, who is her? I showed him the messages. I'm like, oh, so you been cheating on me or whatever. Y'all, he had been texting Tina for like a long time, and they was talking all kind of stuff, right? So I'm hurt, y'all. My heart is racing. He's up, he's just quiet, looking like he's doomed or whatever. And I'm just like, who is her? Call her, call her. Y'all don't do this. Y'all leave with dignity. So I'm like, call her, call Tina, call her. He calling, no answer. I'm like, call her again. He calling, no answer. So now I'm yelling. I'm like, who is her? You've been talking to her for a long time. He have no answers. He is shocked, too stunned to speak. He had nothing to say. I was hurt, y'all. I was tearing him. I'm sorry. I was tearing him up. I was tearing him up. I was throwing him left and right. Cause my anger, I was hurt, y'all. I was really, really hurt. Can y'all imagine being with somebody for a couple years, trusting them completely, just thinking you so special, just thinking that your loved one would never ever betray you and be loyal to you. I felt so betrayed. You get what I'm saying? Like, I felt so betrayed. I was throwing them left and right. I was, y'all. I was trying to knock his ass out. So I'm like, who is her? So now we talking. I'm like, get out. I kick him out. Get out, get out. He's begging me. He's telling me, oh, this, and that. I'm like, I was so hurt, y'all. I'm like, just leave. He leave. So he had a car at this time. So he left for the night, but throughout that whole night, he was texting me all night, telling me, oh, it's not this what you think, and this, and that. And the whole time, I'm just like, why? 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 Y'all do not do that. Do not ask why, because it's not you most of the time. It's them. Do not do that. Do not ask why. I kept asking why. I was just like, why? Why would you? I'm here, I'm with you, humping you every single day, with you all day. Where do you even have time to talk to this? Like, who is this woman? Who is Tina? I just kept asking why. I was just asking all kind of questions. Why? Trying to figure out, what did I do? Do not do that, because it's not you. You feel what I'm saying? Like, do not do that. Like, I would never ever sit there and be like, why? Why? Why did you do that? Why did you do that? Fuck you. You feel what I'm saying? Fuck no. Hell no. So he leaves, and I kicked him out for a couple of days. He was suffering. He was in his car. He couldn't shit. He couldn't bathe. He couldn't eat. He couldn't do nothing. He was just begging me for days and days and days and days. And y'all, your girl, I gave in. I gave in. I gave in. Yes, 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 yes. I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone. Because you know what? You have to go through something to know something. I know why the hell my hair lopsided on the side. Anyway, you have to go through something to know something. A lot of women have been through a lot worse, have done a lot worse, have just dumb, just stupid. You got to go through something and know something. No pain, no gain. That's why I don't judge women when they go through stuff. You be like, girl, your husband cheated on you, girl, and you took him back. Mind your business. Mind your business. You have to go through something to know something. Let that person go through that storm. Let them go through that lesson. That's their class. Let them sit there and take notes. Let them sit there and take that pain. Let them sit there and experience it. Stop judging people when women go through stuff. Oh, girl, why you take him back? Girl, why you let him do this? Why you let him? Stop judging people. Let people go through their storm and live their life. That was my learning lesson, y'all. I took him back because, like I told y'all before, I felt like I could not live without Chris. I met him when I was 17. I was lost in life. I was looking for love in all the wrong places, and he was there. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So I took him back after that. And I kept asking why. I just wanted to know, like, why? Who is she? What does she look like? You know what I'm saying? So I took him back, y'all. And then I'm trying to remember how long after that. But yeah. So after that, it took like 2 weeks after that, y'all. So we were in the living room, right? And Chris was like a workout guy. He had like muscles and stuff, and he would like do push-ups in the living room and stuff. So like I told y'all, I had done been on guard ever since I found out he was texting Miss Tina and stuff. So I had done been, peeking over his shoulder and just being cautious or whatever. So he was down there working out one morning, and I had done walked up on him, and I had just snatched his phone. I was like, give me that. Let me see who you texting. I was just doing a little random checkup. I didn't learn my lesson from the first time. But if I'm going to take you back, you're going to stay on my terms, right? So I snatched his phone up, and I look at it. And guess who he was texting? Miss Tina. You was texting Miss Tina. He was texting Miss Tina, right? So I was like, I freaked out again, just like the first time. Heart got to pounding. I gave it to him. Boom, 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 boom. That was just my reaction from me being hurt. So, and throughout all this time, he never hit me or nothing like that. He just let me beat him up. Or so I thought. I was trying to beat him up or whatever. But he was texting this lady again. And it was like, huh? Didn't you see how bad you hurt me just 2 weeks ago? And you doing it again? So I was like, oh no, you have to go. Like, you have to go. You have to go. Like, you have to go. And I was just so hurt, y'all. He just was texting me over and over again how I'm stupid and I shouldn't have did that, and I want to be with you and you're the one. And he was saying stuff like, I just want to be the one. Like, y'all, have y'all ever been through this before? Am I the only one? Had my heart shattered before? Like, am I the only one? And I just, even still, the second time, I just was like, why? Like, am I not pretty enough? Like, what did I not, what? I just kept questioning him, like, why? You feel what I'm saying? Like, why? And yeah, I was real heartbroken, and I made him leave again, and he was suffering. I cried to his mama. Don't know why I did that. I was crying because she didn't like me. I was crying and crying and crying. And girl, I just was crying. I fell into a deep depression. I wouldn't get out of bed. I just could not do nothing. I couldn't function. I just could not do nothing. I just couldn't do nothing, y'all. He loved me. I'm the only one he want to be with. Y'all leave y'all comments down below. We can talk about it. We don't have to keep this trauma in. It took a long time for me to even think if I wanted to tell his story time, because truth be told, he probably watched my channel. And and because he have a soul tied to me from the things that we used to do. He just can't leave your girl alone. And he probably watched my channel, but it took a long time for me to discuss this because I know the girls be watching me. And y'all not alone. If you had your heart broken below, y'all comment down below and say, my heart been broke before. Just leave a comment down below and say, my heart been broke before. But we the one, not the two. You feel me? So we keep moving, y'all, because it get a little worse than this. I thought I couldn't live without him. I love that man. I just love me some Chris, y'all. I allowed the fucker back in the house because we had got that place together, and he was paying most of the bills. And yeah, y'all, I had locked him back in the house. Boop, that's me. Put a clown red on my face. Put a clown red on my face. If y'all could say Londa a clown in the back, say Londa was a clown. Londa was a clown. I was. I took him back, y'all. I did. I did. I did. I did. I'm gonna sit here and say that in your face. I did. Because I was young and I just thought I couldn't live without him. Right? And so let's get to this. Let me put my stuff out, y'all. Let's get to the bull crap, right? Because I have to edit this and put this out, right? My camera down. So let's get to it. So long story short, I had took him back, y'all. I took him back, but I was untrusting. The trust was broke. I was heartbroken. I didn't feel comfortable around him, but he was staying there. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't sleeping in the same room, but he was there, right? So one night we sleep. It's like 3, 4 in the morning. And I just hear loud, 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 loud. Boom, 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 boom. So I thought I was dreaming. I was, it took me a minute to even move. So I hear him in the background, Chris. He was like, oh, what's that? So I hear it again. And it sounded like 2 arms this time. So it was like, boom, 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 boom. Y'all, real, real loud. Somebody better had done died. Somebody had done been dead. Somebody better be dead knocking on my door like that in the morning. So, girl, I hop up and I run straight to the damn door. And when I get to the door, he's already at the door. So he got the door cracked a little bit and he's whispering to whoever on the other end of the door. And he was just like, man, leave, man, leave. So I'm standing behind him, y'all. And it took me like 5 seconds to even register what was going on. Because I'm standing at the door. I'm like, I know you lying. So I'm standing at the door and I could see somebody got a robe on, a pink robe, and they just standing at the door, right? And I can hear them like whispering. He's like telling whoever to leave. He was like, leave, telling her to leave. And she was like, nigga, or whatever. So I walk up to the door and I push him to the side, y'all. And when I pushed him to the side, y'all, it was that bitch Tina on the other end of the door, y'all. And he was like trying to pull me to the side. He was like, man, this bitch need to leave. This bitch need to leave, y'all. It was this girl. It was this Tina was on the other end of the door. So now Tina is looking at me and I'm looking at Tina, y'all. And guess what, y'all? Tina was a trainee, y'all. Tina was a trainee, y'all. And we're going to cut it right here. We're going to cut it right here. Tina was a trainee. We're going to cut it right there. Was a trainee, y'all. Whew. That is hard to say this. That is hard to say. This going to be part 1 because part 2, when I tell you, when I seen Tina on the other end of that door, y'all. Somebody is ringing my doorbell and I'm trying to give y'all the tea. So that means that's the end of this video. I'm going to have to give y'all part 2 coming soon. Probably tomorrow after work, I'm going to record it. But Tina was a trainee, y'all. The nigga was too stunned to speak. And yeah, I'm going to give y'all all the explicit details on the membership of like the hyposexualness, the stories, the signs, all that good stuff. Just all the good grimy scoop. Y'all want your girl to talk dirty to y'all on the membership. I'm going to end it right there. I'm going to give y'all part 2 in the next video, y'all. Y'all stay tuned. Love y'all. Peace.